flashlight controls, a surface level, and even a ruler. Then I can always just swipe again to go back to my apps. And to be clear, this app's edge is always accessible from any application. So right now I'm in the YouTube app, and I can still swipe in and bring the panel back out. Now let's make some significant improvements to the home screen. For starters, let's long press these widgets and stack them on top of each other. Add one, and we'll add another one. Now I can swipe through these three widgets and access whichever one I want right from one screen. And if I long press the stack, I can tap Edit Stack, and I can make sure Auto Rotate Widget is enabled. What this will do is try to show me the most relevant widget at any given time of the day. But if you'd rather have it stay on the same widget until you change it, you can just turn that feature off. The next thing we should do to the home screen is pinch in to get to the editor. You can also just long press in any empty space, then tap Settings, then go to Home Screen Grid, and increase it to either 5x5 or 5x6, because I'm pretty sure the default was 4x6, and that doesn't give you a ton of room for applications and widgets. You can also change the size of your app screen grid if you want to see more applications on a single page, and even increase the size of your folder grid. And if you scroll further down, you'll see an option for swipe down from notification panel. I do recommend having this on. This allows you to swipe down from anywhere on your home screen to quickly get to the notification panel. If this wasn't enabled and you swiped down, it would just take you to your applications. And here's a bonus tip. If you want to quickly move applications, just long press one, tap select, then tap the rest of the applications you want. You can long press and drag the whole batch, and use your other finger to swipe back and forth between different pages. And the last thing we're going to do is first delete this widget, then add a new widget, and specifically, we're going to add a Smart Suggestions widget. Now this is an extremely useful widget to add because what it does is analyze your usage patterns, then recommend applications based on those usage patterns. Now a 5x3 grid is a bit much for this, so you can actually just drop this down to a single row, and we'll go ahead and drag this over to the other page. And now I'll have quick access to my most frequently used applications. But if you long press this and jump into the settings, you can even exclude specific applications if you don't want those to be suggested. Something I almost forgot to point out in this suggestions widget is if you tap the settings again, you'll see an option here called notification access. And if you allow access to your notifications for this, the suggestions will start to include quick actions for things like replying to a message. Now let's unlock a powerful hidden camera.
Want to see something unbelievable? The OnePlus Open. Look how thin this thing is. Look, tablet, phone. Yeah, I'm an early adopter. I was living off the grid before it was trendy. Mom, I'm busy. I don't know your email password, I'm sorry. Love the large screen. It makes it so easy to multitask. Everyone talks about my big feet, but I've got big hands too. It's so thin and light, I can take it anywhere, which is great for my vlog. This is actually my number 7 favorite tree in the forest here. You can see it's sort of upside down. When I see blurry footage, I'm like, what the heck did you shoot this on? I can film in Dolby Vision auto-foldable. Isn't that freaking nuts? Sorry. Guess who's trending again?
This
Kansas.
If you just even search like AI religion is just this absolute
How come I can't do snipe?
And AI has either replaced God or man.
Okay, so these two are cool. Let's see this one. This one's an assault rifle. You're going to...
Hey Heather.
Hi Zach, it's great to see you. We're here today to talk about the shifting influence of technology, and some might even consider it a modern day religion.
And we have ChatGPT 4 here with us today, engaging with us, which could be interesting given that we have both worked with artificial intelligence. So I guess let's see what this experiment might bring with our thinking together.
That's right. I can now access the internet in real time so that my insights are based on current information. So Zach and Heather, you're both artists who incorporate technologies in your work in order to probe its own weaknesses and how it affects society. What's keeping you up at night lately?
Yeah, there's a lot. Definitely, there's a lot keeping me up at night. For me, all technology is political. I work in biotechnology.
Menu. To do this, you're going to need to go to Samsung's Galaxy Store. Make sure it's Samsung Store and not the Google Play Store because it's only available in Samsung Store. Once you're in there, you're going to search for an application called Camera Assistant and install it. And once it's installed, you can go to the camera app, then tap the settings gear, and scroll all the way to the bottom, and you see a new menu here called Camera Assistant. If you tap this, you'll get access to a ton of incredible camera features that were previously unavailable. Now there's a lot here, so I'm only going to cover a few of the important ones. For starters, you can change your zoom shortcuts. By default, you'll get the 4 main optical zoom levels, plus the 10 times digital zoom level. But you can enable the 2 times and 100 times zoom shortcuts from here as well. So now, if I go back into the camera app, you'll see that the 2 times and 100 times options are right there. So if you also take long distance photos, or you like that middle range of the 2 times digital zoom, these are great features to enable. If you have some skin blemishes that you want to hide in your photos, you can tap picture softening and set that to either medium or high. What this will do is smooth out your photos a bit to hide those blemishes at the cost of a bit of sharpness. If you want to take pictures faster, you can turn on a quick tap shutter, which takes a picture as soon as your finger touches the shutter button. However, this will be more prone to blur from camera shake when pressing the button, so you may want to test this one out before keeping it on all the time. On the flip side, if you notice that your shots aren't always in focus, you can turn on Prioritize Focus Over Speed. This is off by default, but if you enable it, you'll get better focus at the cost of slower photos. The next setting is huge, and it's something I use all the time, and it's called Timer Multi-Photo Options. If you select this, you can choose how many pictures are taken whenever you use the timer. That means I could have 7 pictures taken 1 second apart every time I use the timer. And since I've got 4 little kids, this makes it so much easier to get a great shot the first time. And in case you're wondering, if you set up the timer and start using this feature, you see all these shots that it's going to take. But if you've taken a few shots and you don't want to take any more, you can just tap the stop icon and it'll stop wherever you're at. And while we're in the main camera menu, if you jump into the video mode, you'll definitely want to switch the resolution from Full HD to UHD so you get a much better video quality. And while 8K may be tempting to get the highest resolution, this will limit how much you can zoom, and it's going to be a pretty big file anytime you film. So I recommend just...
Okay, so let's go back.
Jumping back into the photo mode, if you're going to be taking a lot of selfies, you want to tap this layers icon in the upper right corner, then tap color tone, and adjust it to match your skin tone better. If you're new to photography and you never really like how your shots come out, you should go to settings and enable shot suggestions. This will give you a dot on the screen to help you take better photos. Just line up the white dot with the center of the screen, and when the dot turns yellow, you'll be lined up for a good shot. Next, you want to jump back into the settings and scroll down a bit. The next thing you should enable is grid lines. What this will do is give you grid lines on your preview, and that'll make it a lot easier to line up your shots, whether you want to get something right in the center, or if you want to line something up at one of the thirds. And if you switch to video mode, it will also give you a level line so you know you're getting a level shot. Just below the grid lines option, you'll also want to enable location tags. What this will do is add location info to your photos, so if later on you want to find just the photos from a specific vacation to a specific place, you can find them easily just by searching for that location. If you tap shooting methods, you see an option here called floating shutter button. If you enable this, then go back to your camera, you get a floating shutter button that you can move around your screen to make it easier to take a photo no matter how you're holding your phone. Once you're done with the floating shutter button, just drag it down to the regular shutter button and it'll disappear. And anytime you want to take it back out, just drag back in from the shutter button. Once you're done adjusting all your camera settings, you should go to More, then download Expert RAW. This is how you get insane star photos like this. Once it's downloaded, just open up the mode, accept the permissions, then tap this constellation icon in the upper right corner, and you can choose to either hide or show a star guide, and if you choose to show it, you see the constellations that your camera is pointing towards. So as I move this around, you'll see different constellations. You can then change the long exposure time from 4 minutes to 7 minutes, or all the way out to 10 minutes if you really want to get a bright shot. And speaking of excellent star photos, you should also make yourself familiar with hyperlapse mode so you can get excellent star time lapses like this, or star trails like this one. To do this, back out to your More menu, then select hyperlapse, then change the resolution from Full HD to UHD to get a better video, and change this top right setting from auto to 300 times. You'll see a little star icon here as well. As for the duration, you're going to want to keep this set to infinity so that it doesn't stop your time lapse when you don't want it to. But if you really wanted to, you could have the time lapse stop automatically after 10 minutes, which wouldn't really give you very good star photos at all, or all the way out to 300 minutes, which give you a pretty good video. If you want to turn on star trailers, you just have to tap this star icon at the bottom right corner. Now just set your phone up on a tripod, tap the record button, and let it go for at least 30 minutes to an hour. And the last thing you should do with the camera app is learn how to create a slow motion video from a regular speed video. All you have to do is start playing the video, then long press anywhere on the screen, and it will automatically convert it to a slow motion video using artificial intelligence. And if you want to make that portion of the video permanently slow motion, just tap the pencil icon, then scrub to the part of the video where you want it to be slow motion, then tap adjust speed, and select whatever speed you want. And then you can readjust that to however long you want it to be. And if I save this, the video will always play in slow motion at that part of the video. Now let's enable some hidden.
Imagine if every scientist had access to their very own personalized supercomputer. How much faster could they go? How much further would they get? At Microsoft, we're actually doing it. We're co-innovating with the world's leading scientific institutions like Pacific Northwest National Laboratory to reduce the impact of climate change, get to net zero emissions, and find new ways to create, to store, and use energy more efficiently.
We're joining forces with Microsoft to explore this convergence.
Search and destroy. Watch the objectives. Set up security.
This is a shift that the world of science hasn't seen since really the dawn of supercomputing. And for us, it's helping us tackle these challenges in chemistry and material science.
Somebody on B.
That are embedded in the search for new energy storage solutions that the world needs.
Did they all push A?
I'm a material scientist here at Pacific Northwest National Lab. My research is mostly focused on designing next
1 minute remaining. Enemy planted at us.
Electricity generation needs to
No.
The renewable energy is not constant. It's not. There's a lot of rain.
An hour.
Winds.
An hour.
Battery gives you an opportunity to store.
What am I supposed to do for an hour? Just wait here for an hour? No way.
Microsoft was really excited.
Hour and
to work
29 minutes,
with
an
an
hour and
organization
29
that has
minutes.
strong roots in chemistry, material science, and how those disciplines relate to sustainability. Our goal was to work with PNNL to take the burden of exploring vast chemical or material spaces. Computational tools allow us to put the emphasis on the most promising parts of that discovery process. That's going to require a new way of doing chemistry that's computation first. Our team discovered a new electrolyte that uses 70% less lithium than shown in other
Cryptids.
because it replaces
Cryptids boot Get back on the bed so they can see it. You being disgusting?
It's not something that you can pick it up. So
Stop doing that. I like that.
But the scientists been thinking about it. How can we make it to the next issues?
Tackling this approach through the traditional trial and error method is simply too time consuming. The ability to narrow down the playing field from millions of potential combinations of elements and structures to dozens in just months, something that would have taken decades. The acceleration aspect of this can't be understated.
This co-innovation model has the potential to transform every discovery-based field. Industry and material science and manufacturing.
hard point. Secure the target area.
Not just in chemistry and material science.
Target area located. Secure the hard point.
When you think about the convergence of artificial intelligence models coupled with high-performance computing in the cloud, running alongside of co-pilots that are trained in specific scientific disciplines, and having all of that done to where this global level of scientists. That's their
hard point taking effective fire in the area. Enemies inside the perimeter.
Every application, including the built-in camera. To add these to your own browser, all you have to do is back up. If you want to
Effective fire. Confirming next target. Switching mag. Hard point compromised. Secure the area. Target area. Last mag. The hard point. I've been ejected fire. Won't get the best of me. Target down. Enemies inside the perimeter. Hard point relocated. Stand by. Hard point compromised. Secure the area. Secure the target area. The enemy's gaining ground. Push them back.
So no matter what, you're always going to play always.
For my son, fella!
Instead, I recommend running back to the settings and as you copy and save left. Save down, I'm going to copy to a tag or other really good place. It works when you're on the play out.
We're getting hit hard. Confirming next hard point. Stand by. Changing mags! Target area. I'm reloading! The hard point. They tracked me! Friendly UAV online.
On your side! Don't shoot me! I'm friendly!
What's up? I'm waiting for the laundry to be done. Call of Duty, but I'm playing this game where there's two teams and there's zombies and there's like this area you have to like lock and protect, and there's just so much going on at once. But it's really good. Really good. And if you kill these zombies, you unlock all this really good weaponry. The zombies drop the weapons. Oh, that's good.
All new stuff is opening up.
Taking effective fire!
Oh, that's good. Oh, we lost.
Mission failed. Return to base.
Okay, well, I gotta take the long range.